Hey all, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart and IDogs. Oh man, IDogs. Okay, now, if you don't know what IDogs were, allow me to explain from the wiki. IDog is an electric robotic toy. It was first created in 2005 by Sega Toys. No, not that Sega. IDog dances to music it hears, and the LED lights change color according to the music's mood. It can also be plugged into a music player such as an MP3 player, and the music will come through its own speakers. IDog is the first animal to be released in the World of IDog line. The other animal variants were released in 2006 through 2008, including the iCat, iFish, the iSea, which is a penguin. Get it? Get the pun? And the iTurtle. Which actually, fun fact, the iTurtle is actually quite rare because it was released during the late stages of the iDog's life, so really no one really bought any of them, so you know, there's that. In 2007, Tiger Electronics released the iDog Amped. It was a version of the iDog that was upgraded, and it could nod its head and tap its foot in time the music playing. So, yeah, and again, this is a older toy, because obviously it mentioned MP3, and also iPods, which just a quick side note. This is obviously off topic, but just a quick side note, Apple could legitimately remake the iPod, because if the phones that have like the little keyboard that can pop out, if that can get like a remake, then so could the iPod. I imagine it could just be like they could literally just do a remake of the iPod and call it the iPhone Mini. Like seriously. Like, that's something they could do. They have the money and resources to do it. Apple, please. I beg of you. But yeah, anyways, yeah, obviously this was from a long while ago. And, like, I actually had an iDog. And, well, obviously, we lost it one day or something. But, yeah, and again, because iDogs are old, and because of the type of plastic they use, I've seen a good amount of iDogs that have yellowed, and oh boy, let me tell you, whenever I see an iDog with yellowing, I feel something, and it's a mixture of sadness and the realization of how old I am. Sure, I'm not 80 years old, but still, it's just seeing a yellowed iDog on like eBay or something, it makes me feel a lot older than I actually am. Okay, so before I go on about the changes and other stuff about the iDog line, yeah, like I mentioned somewhere, KK Clue is actually the whole reason why I wanted to make this video, because ever since I watched his iDog video, it just filled me with so much nostalgia. And hey, if he happens to see this video, hey, I'm a huge fan. So, yeah, when I watched his video, it not only introduced me to the fact that there was more than just a standard iDog, but also more embarrassingly, it also introduced me / made me realize that the iDog could play more than one song, because whenever me and my older sister used the iDog, we only played that one Crazy Frog song. So yeah, child me literally thought that the iDog could only play that one song. So yeah, as you can tell, child me was not that smart. So yeah, as I was saying, KK Clue is the whole reason I make this video. I really recommend you check him out, because honestly, He's a good content creator. Okay, so now let's go over the changes that would be made to the mainline IDog line that consists of the IDog, the iCat, the iFish, the iPenguin, also known as the Icy because ice pun, and the iTurtle. For visual designs, I would change nothing. Like, all you would really need to do is just, like, make no visual changes, make them wireless, and then boom. You have a perfect product. But honestly, like, for fun, the only visual change would be, like, a little switch, like, somewhere on the side or the stomach that can have two modes. One mode, like, mode 1 is American, and then mode 2 is Japanese. Now, you're probably curious. What does that mean? Well, like I mentioned earlier, the iDog was imported from Japan. And there was actually a sound difference from the American and Japanese one. The American one obviously made dog sounds, while the Japanese version... Listen, I've had a dog for years, and all I can say is my dog doesn't make any of the noises that the iDog from Japan makes. The iDog from Japan definitely makes a good amount of weird sounds, mostly like musical ones, but besides that, yeah, I just think it would be like a little neat feature just to like for anyone to experience like the sound difference. I'm just saying, I think that would be like a little fun detail. But yeah, now that we're done with the visual changes, which there were barely any, I'm actually going to talk about like some mechanical / inside changes. Specifically, like these are mostly like changes that I would make. Now this change goes for all of them, but it's to upgrade the speaker, because in KK Clue's video we see that the speaker it's not great. It's not horrible, but it's also not great. And another change I would make is the type of plastic that's being used. Now, the clear plastic, as you saw earlier, it tends to yellow. But a bigger problem is, and this is only a problem that you could have if you have a all-white iDog, is the fact that, yeah, if you had a white iDog back then and you look at it now, you may tell that a good amount of it has yellowed. So, yeah, I would change the plastic that's being used, just in case if it doesn't yellow over time. So, yeah. But now we go to the more specific changes that are with the other ones. And also, you know, some little lore with both of them. The iCat, which was released in 2006, the iCat LEDs are not diffused. It has touch capability or catability. See? If Hasbro gets to make puns, then so do I. But yeah, a LED light on the face would light up when touched. It has a curved tail, cat claws, and whisker patterns on the face. So, yeah, and honestly, it's quite cute. So, yeah, and actually, funnily enough, I will mention a touchscreen ability with a more later one, but the only change I would make to the iCat are the motors, because once again, in KK Clue's video, it shows that the motors are quite loud, even when the music is on the highest volume. So, yeah, I would recommend that the motors would have to be changed up a bit, especially since, again, this is 2023, technology has improved, so I feel like that change could be made. Then, the next one being the iFish, also released in 2006. The iFish has LEDs on either sides of its face. The tail would move side to side, and it could spin around in a 360-degree motion. At a slow pace, not like a fast pace where it like constantly spins around. The spinning is an issue because of the plugged-in iPod cable getting tangled with when it spins. The fins are buttons. Which, yeah, that's a problem that can obviously be fixed because, like I mentioned earlier, all of these, like the entirety of the iDog line, all of them would be wireless. And, like, I mean, sure, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of plug jack. Honestly, yeah, that would... Actually, no, then again, they could make the charging process wireless, but there's a possibility. You don't know. There could be a possibility that Hasbro could find some way to include a cable or something. So yeah, that would be one of the problems that I would fix. But then the other change I would make is to have the ability to have the eyefish be waterproof. Because for some reason, they didn't take the chance to make the eyefish waterproof. Because, honestly, it would make sense to make the eyefish waterproof. Because, it's a fish. Fish usually live in water. Fish usually don't die if they go in water. So, honestly, the eyefish should be waterproof. I'm just saying. Then we have the eye penguin, which honestly does not have any problems. But the only change I would make is to also make it waterproof, because penguins usually like to go into water. So, yeah, who's that? And then we have the eye turtle, which is actually the rarest one. I'm sure I've mentioned this in the intro, but the eye turtle is pretty rare because once again, it came out during near the end of the IDog line, and barely anyone bought it, so yeah, it's quite rare. So the two changes I would make is, first of all, make the head and body a little stronger, because whenever you press down on the head, the whole body goes up a bit. And I would also make it waterproof, because also, this is going to sound shocking, but there's a thing called sea turtles, and turtles will go into the water. So yeah, those are the changes I would make. So yeah, those are the mainline ones, and obviously the only colors that you would get would be black and white. Those are the only ones that would be released at first, and over time I could see them releasing other ones, such as hot pink, blue, lime, purple, indigo, red, and heck, even having different styles, like Dalmatian, right ear black, Dalmatian left ear black, rainbow Dalmatian, pink Dalmatian, cow, light pink, and tiger, which actually, funnily enough, barely anyone bought the cow and tiger ones, which makes them rare. And heck, they could even bring back the Kiss and Spider-Man ones. Which, yes, the Kiss ones doesn't really make that much sense, but the Spider-Man ones does make sense, because, there is a good amount of Spider-Man content coming out. Heck, they even have the sequel to the original Spider-Man game made by Insomniac, and I say that because Venom is included, and one of the parts of the advertising for this new Spider-Man game happens to be very similar to the advertising for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. So, there's that. I'm just saying, like, the possibilities for, like, the looks are endless. But then we have another thing from IDog, which was the IDog Pup, released in 2005. The IDog Pup was released in both 2005 and 2007 by Hasbro. It lacks an audio input jack instead of opting for a microphone to listen to sounds around it to dance. Now, at the end of this video, I will be talking about, like, how much how much the things could cost and, like, how they could be released. But yeah, the iDog would obviously, I imagine it would be, like, a somewhat cheaper option, or more specifically, it could be for, like, a more younger audience. So, there's that. So yeah, obviously you would have, like, white and black, but also silver, pink, orange, green, blue, and black, with the special ones of pink flower and green swirls. And then it's also called the iDog Mini. So, well, the iDog Mini in Japan. So yeah, there's that. But also, there is the iDog Dance, released in 2008. Which, yeah, as you can see, you definitely know what changes I would make. That's right. It can have a touchscreen. Yeah. It would also, like, how I would imagine the iDog Dance, I imagine it's a combination of the iDog Dance and the iDog Amped, with, like, it being a somewhat more pricey, but also better iDog. Like, it having a way more better speaker, and having a touch screen where like you could go with, like, I imagine the touch screen could also be like you could change the music with the touch screen, but you could also go into settings to like change how the eyes look, because something that was Japan exclusive, they made a starry eye version and a heart eye version. So I imagine that's the way you could use to change the eyes. Especially they could do more than just stars and hearts. They could do squares, they could do lightning bolts because Hasbro owns Power Rangers. They could do anything for the eye customization. I also imagine in the settings, you could also switch it from American to Japanese without having to have that little switch on the body physically. So yeah, I imagine like the IDog dance would be called like the IDog Advance, which like I mentioned earlier, the IDog Advance would be a mixture of the IDog dance and the IDog Amped. Another thing that could be made or remade is the iDog soft speaker, which runs the same programming as the iDog. They are also different boxes with the label Snuggly Speaker. These are basically like plushies, like they're basically plush speakers, and I imagine like the only change I would make is like add a zipper where you can take out the electronics so you can wash the plush. So yeah, I imagine I also imagine that would be quite neat. And also they made like regular plushies of the iDog, which are literally just plushies, and also the iDog clip, which I imagine is a lot more portable iDog. It's basically the, like, I know the iDog's already portable, but this is basically the iDog, but way more portable, and it can fit in your pocket. Or clip on your pants, or shirt, or whatever. So, yeah. Alright, now let's get into the pricing and basically the release roadmap of these things. So for the main line, which includes the iDog, iCat, iFishy, or iFish, icy, aka the iPenguin, and the iTurtle, I imagine they would go around for $65 to $90. They would have pretty good speakers, not like extremely great, but they would have good speakers, and slowly over time there would be different variations in colors and patterns for them. And then they could later on release the iDog Advance, which is a combination of the iDog Dance and the iDog Amped. This would be a little more pricey. This would be pricey in the form of being $110 to $140, whatever Hasbro is feeling with the price, and with the features that it could have that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, the price is quite justified, and this would be for young adults to adults. Hence why it's quite pricey. Then the iDog Pop, I imagine it would be for a more younger audience, like people who are like under the age of 13. So yeah, this could be a more cheaper option, being somewhere around around $45 to $60. And then we have the iDog Micro, which is a rename of the iDog Clip. This is basically just like a very simple speaker, so I imagine somewhere around $15 to $20. Not being that expensive, but also, yeah, it's not really that expensive, but at the price of being a bit cheap. So, yeah. And then later on, I imagine that they can release the plush speakers and the plushies, and yeah. And also, I almost forgot, but the iDogs actually came with clothing, which was actually seen in the picture that I shown. So I imagine, like, you could get, like, these many bundles that come with, like, a iDog and a bunch of clothing. Heck, I even imagine you could get, like, different clothing from, like, that are exclusive to stores. Like that was shown, you could get, like, a Toys R Us vest from, like, Toys R Us or something. Maybe each store, you could have, like, a iDog, or, like, you could have an iDog that's bundled with clothes that are exclusive to that store. So, I imagine they could do pretty well with this. And again, if they did do this, I think it would do quite well. Especially since, again, nostalgia usually tends to do well with money, so, you know, there's that. And again, I doubt Hasbro will probably ever do this, but hey, it could sell well. Actually, hell, it would sell well. Honestly, I would buy one out of pure nostalgia, and also because iDogs are neat. And also, I would want the other variations of the iDog. That'd be quite nice. So, yeah. So yeah, well, I want to once again thank the YouTuber KK Clue for being the whole reason this video exists in the first place. Because honestly, without him, I don't think this video would exist, and also my interest or my re-existence of my interest for iDog probably would have never come back. So, you know, that. So, thank you, KK Clue, for being the reason this video exists and why my interest in iDogs came back. So, yeah. And I really do hope this does happen eventually. And obviously, I doubt it's going to happen in the way I explained it. But hey, there's a chance iDog could come back. Because, honestly, it would just be neat to see the iDog come back again. Especially, another reason I made this video is because I actually do have a iDog-related project that is for down the line. I've also mentioned it in a blog for T3M Future, which, you know, if you want to check it out, it will be in the description. So, you know, go check it out. So, yeah. Anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!